People wonder how I do everything that I do. I get asked all the time, how do you do all these things at once? And I usually just shrug my shoulders and say, I don't know. I got nothing better to do. Evidently. I don't like free time. I don't like sitting down. I don't know. But I know why I do everything all at once. And I feel like I have to. Because if I don't, then no, actually if I do everything, then I cannot be called out for being lazy, idle, not doing enough. All of those insults that have been thrown at me in one way or another, that are completely untrue, that are completely mind-boggling because they're so far from the truth, that I can't sit down, I can't be idle ever. Because even if I deserve it, there was always that person there that said I didn't. So I have a completely flawed outlook on work-life balance, let's say. And I'm not blaming it on one person, because a lot of it is from a long time ago that I was never taught how to deal with. And I'm not blameless, but God damn it, it's really unfair, let's say. I feel like it always deserves an explanation, or I need to explain it. But over the last couple of years, I've stopped explaining it because I've just accepted it. And honestly, the outcome of the abnormality, if you want to call it that, has been, it's good. You know, I'm not shooting up or sniffing lines. I'm not using my time or my inability to relax to fill that space with illicit things. That's good. That deserves a participation trophy, I'd say. So I guess what comes out of it is it's a good side effect. So I'll just go with it. However, the ingredients that made the end product are not positive. Some of them are, most of them are not. And so it's a learning experience for myself and for others, and an opportunity to teach that even though the end product is beautiful, lovely, shiny, and sparkly, what went into making that was, you can't assume anything. And that's one of my major platforms, is you cannot assume anything about anyone and take away. I guess it's weird. I mean, people maybe, you think, don't take away someone's, or don't recognize people's accomplishments, recognize, all the good things that they've done, right? You want to do that. But I'm more in the camp of recognize all the shit that people have been through and all the garbage that they've had to deal with, and that they go home and deal with after they leave the stage, or after they leave their plush office on the top floor of some building. That's where you get real. That's where you honor someone. And I've been called out many times for going up on stage and not saying who I am. And that's a product of that. there's a good side and a bad side to it. And for me, the good side is I dissolve into the rest because I don't see myself as any better than anyone else. And in fact, there are those days where not only do I want to dissolve, but just disappear. Mostly because it would be easier, not, I don't know. I'm driving, obviously, because you can hear the car noise, because I don't have I don't have time to do this. But this fucker in front of me is going so slow that I'm going to pass, and I cannot safely do it whilst podcasting. Okay. I didn't mean to insult that car in front of me. Actually, I did. But I don't mean it. It just made me feel better. I love people. I really do. I really do. And I don't want anyone to feel like they're in my way, but that guy was in my way. On that note, so I'm driving to a really large event, maybe not in size, but this is large historically and personally for many people. And I've coordinated it with many helping hands, and it's truly a labor of love, one that has driven me crazy and will continue to do so all day long. And it's only 6:30, and I've already woke up from a nightmare of someone trying to kill me, throwing shit at me. I had a helicopter chasing me at one point. So you might say that I'm under a bit of stress. I don't want to say that everything is at stake here, because it's not. I'm grounded enough to know that this is just a day, one day out of the entire year, one event of thousands happening today. But it's our event, and I'm doing it for the people that are coming. And so for that reason, it is everything to me. And unfortunately, my oldest child will not be joining today. And that's upsetting to me for many reasons. And I make it a rule not to talk about any of my kids via or on this sort of medium in a direct way. I leave that whole chapter out because it's not fair to them. But I'll put somebody else on the target, but still not name names. But she's not coming, and that's very. I'm disappointed and really sad, but at the same time, not surprised at all. I predicted this almost to the word, because I know this person, not my child, but the person that I had a very long relationship with, who has been part of this story and who continues to be so, and part of why I even do this, because I've had to process and relearn who I am outside of this person. And it's been a really long and painful journey, and it still is going. I'm not done with it. But if anyone has motivated me to do what I do, and to do it not 100%, not 110%, but I doubled down on everything I do. Because this person told me at every turn, I felt like I was stupid, unaware, insignificant. Nothing I did was good enough. Nothing I was interested in. Everything I was interested in was stupid. I couldn't listen to music in the car with him that I liked. That was not what he liked. And in fact, when we would have other people in the car, or if we would pull up next to people and I had a CD in, he'd immediately tell people that it was mine, not his. So I was always made to feel inferior, either directly or indirectly. And just by living in the house with him, if you looked around that house when we lived in there, you would could never tell that I even lived there. Everything was his, absolutely everything. And half of the shit I couldn't touch. So just the environment, minus any comments or, just blatant behavior. Just the environment told me that what I had to offer was not accepted, was not good enough. Don't even bother. So I didn't. I stopped bothering. My family disappeared into the background. They were not good enough. Certainly not. My history, my culture. I think he bought an Italian flag. And that, for me, that I felt like, oh, he does care. But he's just obsessed with flags. He's obsessed with anything that identifies who he feels he is on the inside. He feels that he owns a culture. He feels that he has authority over others. He feels, and he has stated, that he is awake while everyone else is asleep, including me. And so as I'm going into this day, coordinating a Scottish cultural event that my daughter is not able to come to, some of which I believe is his issue. Because he told me to make a choice years ago, because he joined this band. The pipe band he joined. It was another obsession of his that I was not welcome to. And I was asked by the leader of the band to join. And I'm like, me? You can't be talking to me. I'm not allowed to do that. My job is to watch the children while he does things. But he asked me to join the band. And I did. And so when I was done being property, and I was done being, just a ghost in the house, and I told him that I was done, he told me that I had to leave the band because it was his thing. Right then and there, he proved to me that I was not welcome to his things. And they were all his things. And they always were. Everything. Even the name that I have, he told me that was the reason why I was successful in certain areas, because of the last name. So he invalidated me to my core. And so when he said that I had to leave the band, that was the first time that I spoke up, and I said, no.